back to another video, and this is the Football Connect, and I'm your host Sam. So basically we just have to cover it. We have to talk about how this week was like for the Liverpool side, or let's talk about what Klopp thought about the game that we played against Manchester City. Obviously all of us now we know the results that Liverpool played with Manchester City, and the game was at Etihad. We finished a 1-1 draw. So before I can give my thoughts on the game, like I said I would, or say anything about what the game was all about, I have to first visit what the manager himself had to say about it. So before I go to cover what Klopp said, there was also one key key thing that was said in this by both managers, both Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp. Guardiola and Klopp, before the game was over, they had 3 or 5, let me just say maybe a minute talk about things that are bothering them, and they keep complaining about players not getting the rest they need, not given the time to take the steps so that they can actually recover for the next games. And they complain also about the five substitution situation that was removed in the Premier League, that in this moment when the games are like this, it's really important that we have it in the Premier League, because the players are picking up knocks. For example, Trent Alexander-Arnold, it was mentioned, he picked up a knock yesterday. It means he's an English player who was supposed to go play for England. He's no longer fit to go play that, because the reason why he worked so hard every single week. Liverpool and Manchester City and Manchester United, Arsenal and Tottenham and Leicester City, which one did I forget, and Chelsea, they're playing 3 times a day. And the only difference between them, all these clubs, is how thick or how big the clubs, like how they have in terms of their squad depth, how deep it is. That is only what is keeping some of the players safe, so that because the other managers are able to change the formation, they're able to change players, because sometimes you find that in other teams they don't have those top class players, but they have all players that plays almost likely the same, so it's easy for manager to make a decision to drop one player and put another one. For example, like in the Leicester situation, they can always drop players. Like for example, Harvey Barnes was not even there in the game of yesterday, which they won. You see, they have those things that they can always drop and put a player who can play at the same as what Harvey Barnes can do. But in teams like Manchester City might be better, but in teams like Liverpool, if Liverpool drops more money, okay, we have people to put there. But if we drop Gomez, who goes for that? Who takes over this position? If we drop Gomez, who takes over his position? If we drop Trent Alexander-Arnold, can Nico Williams be strong enough to actually handle that situation? The last time the Liverpool fan base almost destroyed his career, well helped by the world fan base as well. So they were complaining about these things, that they need at least to get more chances so that they can get more time to rest the players. Because one thing we have noticed about the Premier League since last season, I thought they would do something, but they are not doing anything. They don't protect the players. Klopp repeats that each and every time. Guardiola said it as well. Solskjaer said it as well. So if you hear 3 top teams complaining about the same thing every single time, every single day, then the Premier League needs to do something about it. They can't keep quiet about this, because look at this. Right now, it's going to be a 2 weeks international break. What is going to be happening? Players like Handel, after playing that busy week, they'll be playing for English international. They'll be playing games. Gomez will be playing games. If he comes back with the knock, that's how he has to come in the future for Liverpool. And at the same time, on top of that, we have the COVID-19 situation. Nothing. They don't even look at that, how this can cost the game, as we know with the performance of the teams that they are saying they're paying because they give us entertainment to watch as the fan base. They're not doing that. So this is the problem that the managers and everyone are dealing with. That is where we're having a problem here. So I don't know what we can do. The managers are not happy about it, and surely, definitely, even us, the fan base, we can feel the heat. In terms, did you see the performance of Liverpool yesterday? How they started and how the form that they had just went so down. It just went so low that I couldn't understand what was happening. So that is the situation we are dealing with, guys. We can't say anything about it. We can always complain about it, but that doesn't really surely help, because nobody in a way listen to us. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But that's what they wait to say. So now let me cover some key points or some what Klopp had to say about this game. So you guys, please do me a favor, click that like button, subscribe to the channel. That is the most amazing way you support us here at the Football Connect. We always come here to bring videos, and we are gonna be trying to bring as much as we can during this international vision. Maybe we might even do some 1, 2, 3 watch alongs. You do me a favor, you be the one who choose the ones that you wanna see. So let's go in with the show. So the first thing when he was asked about his instant reaction, Klopp, one thing he said was top level from both teams, top play from both teams, because we can always say they attacked themselves, so they were attacking each other. Mostly, if I say the first 45 minutes, I was 100% impressed by Liverpool in terms of how they were attacking. It was actually amazing. We had a lot of moments that we would have finished. That's why I was saying top level. But in the second half, it seems like we dropped in terms of our performance. It went so down that we can't do anything about it. But that was the situation that we dealt with. And he was asked about let's see, like I just said, he said he loved that the boys started so well, they played so well. That's what he was saying here. And he's okay. He takes the draw, he takes the 1-1 draw, because that's what we got. So he's saying that it doesn't, for him it was okay, and he can take the draw that he got. It was actually amazing to see. And he was asked a question, by the way. He was asked that, what do you think about playing a team like City? He was asked that you played Arsenal, you beat them. Chelsea, you beat them. We played Manchester City, we got a draw, and some other team. Then Klopp said that all the teams in the Premier League are tricky. Every single team in the Premier League is tricky. If you people are forgetting about that, let me give you an example. We were beaten by Aston Villa by 7-2. So that's exactly what I was saying. All the teams in the Premier League are tricky. They can always surprise you whenever you're not expecting it. And that's what I think he meant, because that's how things goes. So in the Premier League, always require you to be alert, if that is the word that I have to use. You always have to be alert. So he's saying that they are really tricky. Never take any team for granted, because it can always shock you at any given stages. That's what he was just making sure that everyone understand there. Then he was asked also, and like I was saying, he talked about we should give them time for these boys to recover. He talked about recovery of the boys. Let me tell you why he's saying these things. Why this is eating not only him, but almost all the managers who are playing more. We have the Champions League during the week. We have the Premier League during the weekend. That's how it has been for the past month or so for Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, and Leicester City, then Manchester United. All of those teams had to go through this same decision. And how do you recover in 3 days? Let me give you an example. They played yesterday, the boys, right? Liverpool were playing yesterday. Today it should be a recovery day for them. So they don't have to go to training. They have to be massaging their muscles so that they recover. Then the next day they have to go prepare for a game. They're not going to be taught anything. They're not going to analyze what happened before they actually have to start preparing for the next game. So what does this mean? They run straight hit into the training, preparing how they can actually attack this game. Then they're given, say, maybe few strategies of how to tackle the team they deal with. That has been their case for the past month, and it seems like it's not continuing. After the international break, we are going through the same process. But the funny part of this situation is that as we go to the international break, it doesn't seem like all the players are going to rest. They're going to continue with these things. They have about 3 games that they have to play, all the games. So time to recover for the players is just no more at all. Premier League are not giving that, or let me just say the football board are just not giving that. We know we have a COVID-19 pandemic. Then give us an example, something like an excuse that players can at least have 5 substitutions, so that when you see that a player is tired, we take him out, then we put another one. That is not happening. So that's the situation we've been dealing with for the past 2 seasons. And I don't know. I was actually happy that Trent Alexander-Arnold picked up an injury. Again, my point clearly, guys. I'm not saying that I'm happy that he picked up a knock and he'll be out. I'm happy that I hope that the knock takes him out for the next 2 weeks, so that As much as he's supposed to be going back to training, he goes for recovery so that he doesn't feature in this English international. I think a 2 week break can actually do him justice. That's what I think. A 2 week break can do him justice. He will feel like he will be refreshed a bit when he comes back for the Premier League when we come back on the 21st of November. That's when the Premier League continues, right, for Liverpool, if I say. So, the other thing he was asked also, we don't, like I just said, this is the Pep Guardiola point, that we don't protect our players. The Premier League doesn't protect their players. We've said that they just make them go suffer just for their entertainment, for their amusement, and for their money, for their big fat checks to be, big wallets to be fed. That's what they want. Okay. Okay, so one thing that he was asked, that was, I think it was very important, that people didn't point at all. People were just saying Liverpool and what. If you saw the game of today, Liverpool were playing a different system than they are used to. For the past 3 years that we've known Liverpool, their formation that they've used for the past 3 or 4 years was a 4-4-3 formation. And especially sometimes they could since we bought Shakira, we could change to a 4-2-3-1 like the one we played yesterday. But every time, whenever we're facing a big side like in Manchester City, Klopp always goes back to the basics, to the 4-4-4-3-3 formation. That was all he used to do. Everyone knows this. It has been our traditional formation. He would put the players that he trusted to actually survive in these games. Then we get a draw or we win a game. That has been what we've been doing. So this past weeks that I'm saying that Liverpool have been playing every time, they've been this new player that we bought in our club, Diogo Jota, and he has made a lot of noise, which a lot of impact in terms of, and a lot of noise in terms of his performance to actually get the start he deserves in this Liverpool club. Everyone knows it. You actually know what he's done. He has scored, I think, about 7 goals already. Thinking this time he has scored about 6 goals. So that is super amazing, with a hat-trick that he scored when we were playing against Atlanta, the game before the City game. So nobody in this world, there were actually debates all over the media who people were actually looking to see who Klopp was going to drop between Jota or Firmino, who was going to be the player who gets in. And Klopp is I have to say, if a player has rewarded him a lot, he is so loyal as a manager to the player to give him more chance. As much as the player is not actually succeeding to what he's getting, he is always loyal to give the player more chance to try, so that at least he improves, he gets that form he needs, so that he gets some good things. So that's what Klopp did there. He wanted, we knew that most of the diehard Liverpool fans who understand, I think we understand Klopp better than most of the people do, because other people, they don't support the club, so they don't see exactly how much we see. We were 100% sure that Klopp was not going to drop Firmino in this game. No matter what, he was saying that Firmino has been world class for him, and he has proven it. We won the Champions League, the Premier League, and the Super Cup, and all the things that we won, because Firmino was always part of the club, performing like he always does, setting for the player, defending for the club in front, and providing the goals. But the goals has dried. We all know that the goals has dried. But that was the situation, guys. And we knew that he was not going to drop him. But at the same time, Diogo Jota's performance was so demanding that he had to get a start no matter what. And we wanted to see what Klopp was going to do. And I have to say that he didn't disappoint us. Reason why I say he didn't disappoint us is because he just said, let me change the formation, let me just change the system here. Let me put both the players in. I'm putting my guy that I trust. In Klopp's eyes, I think I was like, I'm putting my guy that I trust in Firmino, showing my loyalty, my loyal and support to the player that he can improve, and he still trust him. That's why Firmino was not in there. And I'm putting the one you guys want, the fans, because we wanted to see Jota. I wanted to see Jota personally. You can watch some videos that I did back then. I wanted to see Jota in this team. And yeah, he did. And it was a good game. I don't wanna lie. It was a good game. Actually, I was actually enjoying the game. And that's what happened. He put them there. So what did this mean when he was putting these two players? It means that we had to change to a system, which means that Klopp in a way had to risk it all in a bit, going to something that is ever done, to play a different formation that is not yet clear in the eyes or in the understanding of the player, so that he gets so that he actually try to show that there's fairness in these players between Firmino and Jota. I personally didn't feel like we had to play 4-3-3. To play 4-2-3-1. I didn't feel like we had to play it. Reason why, I felt like maybe if we had started with the 4-3-3, maybe Klopp should have said maybe we start with Mane. We say Jota, Salah, Mane. Then later on, maybe in the second half, he changes. Then it becomes Mane, Salah, Firmino. I felt like that was going to be okay with me. But no, he had to put them all in. I understand, because there was too much pressure on him. If we had lost that game, they were going to look at him that, yes, it's because of Firmino. And I think they did well. So this system, what it caused was that it forced Henderson and Ronaldo to play over time. I have to say, in this whole full game, no matter whatever you say, Jordan Henderson and Gini Ronaldo worked so harder than any other player in that field, because they had to mark De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan, and Rodrigo. Also with the Sterling, Fernand Torres, then the other one was who? Gabriel Jesus helping with the back one. Because what Henderson and Ronaldo were doing here was this. They were either saying that when they are working to help the defense to get the ball out of them, they have to take the ball so that they help the front three so that they attack the ball well. So they were the link between the two guys, the defense and the strike force. It was not an easy job. They worked overtime. Yeah, I know there were some times where Jota, Mane, and even Firmino were dropping in to help, and maybe Salah would stay up front, and they were trying the long balls, but they were just not passing the City defense. They were using their height, and it worked so well for them. I have to say that Ruben Diaz and Laporte, in terms of those high balls, they were actually surviving, and they got it so well. So that's exactly what happened, and it was a new system. It was not easy, and the boys had to work. That's why he said, when he was asking the Premier League, he said that it was like it tough, was not really easy, but the boys were ready to listen, ready to learn, and ready to apply what they are learning at a short period of time, 3 days or 4 days max. So that is so pure classic. That just shows you how professional these guys have become under Klopp, how they have grown as footballers. And I really, really respect that. I really, really respect that. So that's all that it was said. Let me see if I'm leaving anything here. And he was talking about that. The other situation that they had to do with is that players like Mane and Jota that are not really used into defending half spaces. I think I was talking about the spaces in the middle. Because one thing that we know, Jota and Mane can always go back and fight for the ball in the back and goes there. But in the middle, usually find that is the job that is done by either Henderson, Fabinho, and Ronaldo when we are playing a 4-3-3 formation. But in this situation now, it is to force them guys to come and try to help them a little bit. So it was a little bit exhausting, if I have to say, but they worked so well. That's why you saw that City in the second half, as much as they had the ball and they were attacking, it was no longer as easy for them to attack and get those opportunities and situations where they were able to score those balls or getting penalties, because Klopp had actually taught the balls to compact and these guys to try to help out. So that was a good thing, and I really respected that. So I don't have anything bad to say about this game, because it has been hard for us to get a victory in that game. I think it's about now 4 years before we have at least a victory that we can actually smile about. So with whatever that we got, I'm happy. Players that were missing in this game, I would have loved to see Ox-Chamberlain. He's very dangerous in terms of this game. I don't want to talk about Virgil van Dijk. You know what I feel about him. He's needed every time, so I'm not going to even waste time touching on that. But that's what he was saying. Then he talked about that Trent Alexander-Arnold picked up a calf injury. We still don't know what it means. I'll have to check after this if there's any information that came out, so that we can actually give you an update of what this means to Trent Alexander-Arnold and how much he'll be out of play. And all these things are important. We always have to know everything about them before they even come or when they happen. But that's where we are now at the moment, guys. But anyway, This way, what the immediate reaction that Klopp had to cover. I thought he was going to do a press conference where he was asked by journalists, but it didn't happen. Maybe it happened and I didn't see it, but this is what he had to go through anyway. It was a tough game. It was a tough game, I have to say, but we had some spaces. He actually said this well. We had some chances, but we just didn't finish them. Like the shot that Alexander Arnold kicked, and Jota tried to run for it, but Edison was able to recover that touch that was kicked by Alexander Arnold. And also the first chance that Firmino got. Yes, I know people are gonna be going after Firmino's head, but I felt like as much as some chances were not scored, he played so well. He played so well. Definitely, the whole team played so well. But I was more impressed with the play that Ronaldo and Henderson did. Matip and Gomez did as well. They played so well against the City strike force, and I was really impressed. So let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this, and what do you feel Klopp needs to do so that we improve that? Because definitely he has to do something, because we can't be where we are right now. So after this video, the next video that I do, maybe I'll be doing it as a live stream. I'll be talking about all the games as a whole, just to look at the week 8 games, try to just cover and mask the game. And I think I'm gonna do a video that only focuses on the game between Aston Villa and Arsenal. Yeah, I can do the Aston Villa Arsenal game. I couldn't do the Liverpool Aston Villa. That was actually punishment to my eyes, so deal with that if you don't like it. I'm just joking, guys, but anyway, I'll try to look at it, because I felt like Arsenal were manhandled again, like what happened to them when they were playing against Liverpool. But we'll talk about it anyway. So you can click here, guys. I think there's just some information that happened with the City games before. Then YouTube is gonna try to choose one of the best videos that we have in this channel, and they'll put it somewhere there. So just choose where you wanna click, but please click that like button, subscribe to the channel. That is the best way you support us here at the Football Connect. And this has been Sam, and I have to say, thank you very much for watching. See you later.